Matthew Stafford coming off a bye, him and Jim Bob Cooter. The numbers will tell you game by game that they're trending to have a big, huge game in Miami. We back. More City Sports Talk. Your boy CJ Goodfella in the building in full effect, all right? Since the 49er game, Matthew Stafford has been on fire. Look at the Patriots game. He's been more efficient than Big Pat Stafford numbers. Since the Patriots game, let's start there. He threw for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the interception that game. They had 32 carries from their running backs between Kerryon Johnson and LeGarrette Blount. And, he had a very, very effective game, well over 50%. I think well over 60% passing as well that game. So he's been effective going to the Dallas Cowboy game as well. He was super efficient, only 6 incompletions that game, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not much of the balance there. Only 9 carries from Kerryon Johnson, 1 by Agnew, 7 by Blount, 1 by Reddick, and 2 quarterback scrambles for 5 yards for Stafford. One of the reasons they probably did lose is because they didn't run the ball efficient enough. Don't care what Mike Valenti say on the radio. They should have ran the ball still, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't do that. They came up with a loss. And then last week, the exciting game they had versus Green Bay Packers. Shout out to Mason Crosby for not being able to kick easy field goals. But it didn't matter. You should have scored touchdowns. And yesterday, last 2 Sundays ago, you see a big difference. The difference was also that, again, the trend is that Kerryon Johnson had 12 carries, would have had much more carries, but he got injured and they played it safe. They was up and let him rest. He could have came back. LeGarrette Blount had 12 carries. Reddick had 3 carries. Stafford had 1 carry for -1 yards, okay? But again, the balance between Kerryon Johnson and LeGarrette Blount, 12 carries apiece. I would like to see that back up to 16 carries apiece. More likely, I would like to see it be more 8 carries for LeGarrette Blount and the rest go to Kerryon Johnson, especially with Theo Reddick not playing this week. I would expect them to take some trade calls for Theo Reddick and both Amir Abdullah. But Stafford, again, was just a little bit over 50% yesterday, 2 Sundays ago. 14, 26, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, okay? Kenny Galladay is becoming his favorite target. And like I said, Marvin Jones was dealing with injury before the season. So coming off the bye week, I say Stafford continues to trend to have a good game. I think he has more of the variety game versus hopefully that's versus the Patriots. But I'm going to say versus the Cowboys. The Dolphins have a straight secondary, but one thing I do notice, and I'll point this out in the next video when I talk a little bit of fantasy for this game. And also don't forget our preview show, which we're going down Saturday. God willing, much blessed to everybody out there as well. We'll be doing Saturday live show. We do it every week. The Lions have a game. One thing I did notice is the Dolphins give up a lot of yardage and a lot of points in fantasy and a lot of yardage in real life to slot receivers. Golden Tate is going to be a hot commodity, a hot name in this game. So that's something to look at. But I say Stafford has another efficient game. I think coming out the bye week, they have more opportunity to sit down and break film. I think, like I said in my last video, I think you see Kerryon Johnson break out and become the lead back if he's healthy, which hopefully stay healthy the whole game, but he's healthy from what I understand. And I see a guy like Golden Tate and Kerryon Johnson being a muscle, and Stafford's accuracy being a muscle. They have Xavier Howard, who's a good corner, Micah Fitzpatrick, I think who's playing corner, but I thought he was going to be a safety in the league, but they're playing him at corner. They got 2 aggressive safeties in Rashad Jones, I think it's Rashad Jones, and they got the kid from the LA Rams, TJ McDonald, or Jermaine Johnson. It's TJ McDonald, I think. Big safety, was a corner, was getting burnt. So you got matchups across the board. I wish they knew how to utilize their tight ends, but they don't, because Luke Wilson will have an excellent matchup with these linebackers and some of these safeties. Rashad is more of a thumper, a box safety. Tremaine is more of or TJ McDonald. I think it's TJ McDonald. One of the dudes. He's more known as a cover guy, but he sucks in coverage as a corner. So he's so big and physical. They moved him to safety. And he has better feet for a safety, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He don't really have the overall attributes to be a solid corner. Okay. But yeah, T.J. McDonald. But you can take advantage of him in coverage. Also they won't have their best pass rusher in Cameron Wake as well. So something to look at, man. This is going to be a huge slot game for both sides, and I explained that in my fantasy video. I talk about some great picks for the Dolphins as well in fantasy, but it's going to be a huge slot game. I look for Golden Tate to have a humongous game. I look for Kerryon Johnson to have an even bigger game. I look for Stafford to be very, very efficient. And sleeper would be Marvin Jones. I think he's going to be a real sleeper here. Always Kenny Galladay now. But I think Marvin Jones is going to have a breakout game here. I think he's finally starting to get healthy. But Stafford is going to be able to sling that ball around. If it's great weather. South Florida around this year does rain a little bit. So let's check the weather before we get off of here. We talk a little bit more about it on the fantasy little thing I'm going to do in a minute. So let me see what the Miami weather is looking like. The forecast. And Sunday, well, I'm glad we did. Look, it's a 50% of precipitation. A 50% of precipitation. So, yeah, I'm not sure when it's going to rain. But it's expected to rain 50-50 in Miami. It's expected to be a lot of wind. So, you trend towards the running backs. You trend towards the running backs. That's what I tell you in this one. It's not supposed to rain around kickoff time. It's gonna rain late in the game. It look like so. Around kickoff time, an hour to kickoff time, it won't rain. But somewhere around 5 p.m. is going to rain. So that's something to look at. It's going to be high humidity. So, Motor City Sports Talk. Y'all know what the business is. Let me know what y'all think. We gone.